You have to give Sean Marks credit in at least one area for his pre-game press conference on Tuesday night. In responding to a number of questions on the dismissal of Steve Nash as Nets head coach, as well as the ongoing Kyrie Irving saga, he read the room. When asked what his message is to Nets fans who are no longer interested in rooting for the team, Marks replied, "Look, it's understandable," adding, "I am certainly not proud of the situation we find ourselves in." And, if you haven't heard this sentence enough from Nets brass over the past 3 years, I'd like to get back to basketball. On Kyrie Irving's now infamous first press conference after his now infamous social media posts, Marks merely stated it didn't go well. On one reason that the Nets decided to move on from Steve Nash. There were times where, it was a quarter was taken off, a half was taken off, a game was taken off. We knew we didn't compete. Sean Marks may have largely spoke in generalities, but that damn sure doesn't mean he didn't tell the truth. Other than dry understatements, Marks forced as much optimism as he could into his answers considering gestures all that. While admitting he couldn't blame Nets fans for ending their support of the team, he also reaffirmed his public belief in the Nets as a potential championship squad. "I think we would not have made moves like this at this juncture if we didn't think that." He would later add, "There's been playoff teams that at one point, look a certain way and make some moves and then change. We hope to be one of those teams. We know Jacques Vaughn will be leading the Nets for now, but who will be leading a potential turnaround once a full-time coach is hired? There is still no official word." "No, absolutely not, no," Marks responded when asked if it was true that Brooklyn had already hired Ime Udoka away from the Celtics. He also stated, "I really don't think it's up to me right now to give a list of candidates." Perhaps it is Marks recognizing the cartoonishly awful optics of hiring a coach currently suspended by his organization for sexual misconduct in the workplace, whilst dealing with a situation that has their second most popular player trying to convince the world that sharing anti-Semitic media does not, in fact, make him an anti-Semite. Perhaps Nets brass realizes that a gaggle of fight sexual misconduct shirts in the front row may not make the fight anti-Semitism shirts next to them look any better. Maybe Marks knows the hire is already made, but the time to make the official announcement is not quite yet. That Scoop gurus Adrian Wojnarowski and Shama Sharania, who each reported Udoka to Brooklyn is all but a done deal, are not quite wrong, just early. We will also soon find out what Kyrie Irving will say in his next face-to-face with the media. It just won't be after Tuesday's contest versus Chicago. Marks acknowledged that, at some point, Irving will have to face the music. But for now, the organization seems to be treating him with kitty gloves, a strategy that you really can't fault Brooklyn for. At this point, we don't want to cause more fuss right now with more interaction with people. Like, let's let him simmer down, Marks said of Irving. Or maybe that's what he said about one of his children having a meltdown in Target. In any case, it was hard to feel true excitement for interim coach Jacques Vaughn, who held just a 4-minute presser soon after Marks exited. He expressed the utmost respect for Steve Nash, who he called an unbelievable human being, and multiple times that his job was to prepare the team. Vaughn also recalled telling Royce O'Neal recently that, in the NBA, no year is ever the same. In a way, that's true for Brooklyn. Dealing with the Irving situation and potentially hiring Udoka bring on unique problems for the Nets. But problems they are, and problems might as well grow on the office plants inside the Barclays Center these days. It's hard to say this year feels like the fresh start that Brooklyn hoped would come to fruition.